everybody. I'm back. There was a short hiatus, and I'll talk more about that in a little bit. But this week, I'm going to give you 3 things I have learned about myself after moving. Yes, I moved. If you watched my birthday video, I talked a little bit about it. We'll rehash a little bit about that, but 3 things I learned about myself during my recent move. Go grab a drink, grab a notebook. I always say get something to write with if you want to, but I don't know. I feel like some journaling may be good after we have this conversation, but go do that, then come back, and let's get into this video. All right, everybody, let me reintroduce myself. Okay. I am PM Kester. This is How to Take a Break. It is a podcast, or a visual podcast now. Please go to the best of section, the playlist part of my YouTube world to listen to some of my past interviews where I teach you about all the things of taking a break, and that number one, taking a break is not just about rest. We take a break to get further in our careers. We take a break to take better care of ourselves, which sometimes involves rest. Sometimes it's taking a break to focus on better eating, overall better health and wellness. Sometimes we take a break to date ourselves and to fall in love. But there are many types of breaks that you can take, and we explore a little bit of that over on my channel. But today we're learning about 3 things that moving taught me. You'll see me glancing over to the side to look at my notes because I like to be prepared. But to rehash where we have been, if you look into one of my May videos, and I am going to link it in the notes because I'm a good person, that's who I am. I talked about how emerge was my word for the year. It's also an 8 year, which has like all these great meanings in the Bible and numerology. And I turned 44 in May. It's getting dark in here because the light is doing something weird. I turned 44 in May, and I kid you not, within 2 weeks, everything in my life flipped upside down. I got another promotion at my job. Was 1. 2, I got a new car. 3, I went out literally on a whim and started looking at apartments because my landlord sucked and I was in the middle of a bunch of bull crap. In my townhome community because of my landlord. Went out 1 week, after only 1 week of looking, found a new place. So then basically had to spend from that point on through the end of June packing and moving, getting ready to move. And I am it's literally the end of July making this video, and I can say I'm finally at the point where moving is over. It has been a stressful process. I don't want to say I don't want to ever have to move again because I actually anticipate that I am going to move again in a year, which was always the original plan. You know, my nest will be empty. Or preparing to be empty at this time next year as my youngest daughter goes off to college. And so the plan was to downsize anyway to a condo. And possibly even like change states, you know, as I prepare for the next days of my life. But the universe is funny. The opportunity presented itself early during this crazy whirlwind emergence of blessings time I had right after turning 44. And here I am now in a new spot. Look at God, look at the universe. So I'll probably be moving again, possibly. We'll see. But it's been stressful, and that is why you have not seen me, because between new work responsibilities and the big responsibility of having to move all these things and just deal with the decluttering and getting help and cleaning in one spot and then another spot and then paying 2 rents and maintaining 2 places aspects. July has been crazy. I am looking forward to August, and I will be applying lessons learned to my rest of my year. But as we get into the 3 things that I've really had the opportunity now to like start sitting and reflecting on what I have learned from this move. And there's 3 things. Number 1, I really don't care to have a lot of stuff. I really don't. And I have said this before and meant it before when I got divorced in 2018 and I moved from a huge house, 4 bed, 3 bath with a basement, and the chaos that ensued of trying to like downsize all of this stuff with small children at that time. Well, one small child at that time, and moving in the condo and everyone just acting like one, that I was crazy for leaving a house because it was my choice to sell the house. And you know, this space and needing of things, but definitely it doubled down on it this time as I have been trying to get rid of stuff, and I really took time to process like decluttering and looking at a lot of the stuff that I had and the stuff that my youngest daughter had, and even the stuff my oldest daughter had, because she had some stuff at my house, and I would just send pictures to them and I would FaceTime them and just be like, why do we even have, like, why do you have this? There's still tags on this, and I know you have had this for a while, or you cannot honestly tell me you're still wearing this or you're still using this. And it just, the stuff does not excite me like that. Like, I've really reflected on, especially this time, moving from the townhome to this 2-bedroom condo, how little I need to get by. You know, there are certain nice things. You know, there's certain things that you want, right? Like, I'm a TV person, so I know I want a TV in each room. I just can't sit and watch my laptop or my phone or my iPad. So certain things like that, I know I want that. I know I want like a good desk because I work a lot. And I just recently got a new sofa because I do like to relax in my living room. And this living room is so nice because there's like a lot of like natural lights and things like that. The layout is wonderful. And so I was like, I really want to get, but it's like little things. And like, I even look at clothes now and I'm just like, I kind of have gotten to a point where I have a little uniform. And there's only so much that I need. And there's only so many clothes that I can wear. So many shoes I can wear. And so many little things like knickknacks and all this kind of stuff. Like I'm really trying to be more intentional about what I buy. And so the first thing moving taught me is just like, I really don't care to have a lot of stuff. I trashed a lot of stuff. And I'm literally now at the stage where I am going back to the house and stuff is not making it. It's getting trashed because why do we have it? And I don't blame my daughters, because some people be like, well, you bought this for your kids, or you allowed them to have these things. And I don't really blame them, because I think about how I grew up as a 40-something-year-old woman, right? There was advertising when I was younger. but it's not to the level that it is now, right? We didn't really have like we didn't have social media really. I don't think Facebook happened until I was in college. So there was really not a huge, so like MySpace, but it wasn't, the way that in which we advertise to people via social media, how we have phones and your phones push advertisement to you. My freaking work computer will push out different advertisement to me now about like computer stuff, and I'm just like, we're just getting sold to so much, which is why we have so much stuff, right? Why your kids ask for so much stuff and why they buy so much stuff. We're just a highly consumerism type culture right now. And I sell to people, you know what I'm saying? I recognize the hypocrisy too, because I sell to people. I have journals and stuff. I'm gonna drop some links down there. And it's something that I battle with too, which is like, oh, it's a kind of cringe that I'm now like selling you my journal. Which is why I've actually moved to more digital forms and not just like the physical forms of things. Because I'm like, we have so much physical stuff. We're just becoming a stuff people. But that's one of the things. Thing number one that I reckon this like my move taught me is that I just really don't care to have a lot of stuff. So moving forward, I definitely will be more intentional about the things that I bring into this space, which is a smaller space. I'll be more intentional about that and really firm with how much stuff we have as a family. Number two, 3 things my move taught me. I need to be clear about what I need. I need to be clear about what I need. And that is, and specifically this move, people have offered to help me. And one, I was so overwhelmed at one part that I didn't even know what to ask people. But I also think that if I had been clearer with, I'm overwhelmed, I don't know what to even ask you. Maybe if I had people just come and walk into my space, they could have like having a couple of people just kind of look at my situation. They could have offered me tips on like what to do, what to pack, what to, and how to move on certain things and next steps. I will say this is the part, I have no problem being single. I have no problem at all being single. I rather enjoy it. But it is nice sometimes to have like that partner or somebody that you can bounce certain things off of, like that other, person in the room to kind of like be like, well, I think we should do that. Like that person to go back and forth with. So I wished I had done that more. Also, I wished I had said no more because I accepted help on some things that kind of, it slowed me down. And I wish that instead of, I didn't want to come off as like rude, and sometimes when we use our boundaries and we say no, I get, I do. Like people, I've had issues in my family and stuff like that with people trying to be like, oh, you're too good for help or something like that because I've said no to something. And I've said no because I knew that wasn't a particular amount of help that I needed. And so I want to get better at expressing like, thank you so much for offering this form of help. I actually only require this of you. And doing it that way. And I'm gonna be real, y'all. I'm 44 years old. We grown. I have done this for people before, and I need to start asking people to do this for me, where I've just like literally cashed out the money to help with movers, because we getting too old to be out here like lifting up people's boxes and stuff like that. I got a bad ankle and I have a metal rod in my back. I can't be lifting and all stuff. Like my body is in shambles right now from doing all this moving. The best thing that I did was after getting some help that kind of really didn't help me with moving some stuff to this place, I hired these two young men to move some stuff, and they packed up a whole truck and got stuff done in like an hour. They was young, they was sprightly, they got stuff done. And we need to normalize that. We need to normalize when our friends are moving, maybe just offering to like cash app them money or put in the group chat, hey y'all, you think maybe we all can like donate $50 to help her pay for a U-Haul and movers? Or can I just cash app you money to pay for you to eat out while you move? Because I know this is like a crazy time and you're not going to be thinking about trying to feed you and your family. So maybe I donate $40 today for like takeout. Someone else donates $40, $25. It don't take much. Like you can literally go get some chicken and something like, something like that. These are the helpful things. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but that's my big thing. I learned that I need to be more clear about what I need. And so that was one of the things that this move taught me. Gotta be clear. Getting older, girl. Gotta be clear. Finally, the last thing that this move taught me. I'm not sure I ever want another house. And I've said this 8 years before when I got divorced and I moved into a 2-bedroom, lovely apartment then, like high end. It was chef's kiss. And I loved it. I loved it. It was a walkable community. I could walk downstairs to the grocery store. There was restaurants that was like right there. I loved it. And it was less taxing in the house. People always tell you to get a house, get a house, get a house. And I will tell you that house was a blessing and a curse to me. Selling that house afforded me some great things for my kids. Like literally my oldest daughter, her freshman year, she only had to pay out of pocket like maybe $2,000 because I was able to use the money from the sale of our house to help her with like, housing fees and other college costs or whatever that scholarships and things didn't cover. A blessing. You know what I'm saying? My mama couldn't do that for me. I was so happy to do that. But then on the other end of having a house, and one of the reasons that led me to that was like everything was breaking down. Everything is breaking down. There's no one to call. Like you're the person that you have to call when stuff is breaking down in your house. And when you have a big house, the energy bills, all the bills are like so much more expensive than when you have like a smaller space. So I don't know. I just, and I don't think I need all that space. Like literally I'm moving out of a townhome where my daughter used to barely hang out in the living room. We got to a point like we didn't really use everything because we were on 3 different floors. Like it got to a point where I couldn't even use like my office area, and I just felt like that was like wasted space. And I felt the same way about our house. We were always upstairs in the top level, and it got to a point where the living room level was not really used. The basement, people barely went down there, like unless we had like a bunch of people over and the kids would go down there and stuff like that. And so we just didn't need all that space. And I'm like that now. Like something I pointed out to my youngest daughter, I was like, since we moved here, I said, I don't think I ever saw you in the living room as much as you've been here. And we've barely been in this place. And you're in this living room like all the time. And her bedroom is huge for a 2-bedroom condo. And she was like, okay, everything just seems so much accessible here. So why would I ever go back to having a big house? Now, if I get married again, tell your uncles. We'll see. But even, I just don't know. Do I want all those stairs and stuff like that? And then I feel like when you get a big space, you feel compelled to fill it. So I don't know. I do know. Let me lie. I don't want a big space. I don't. I do not see me living in like a big house. And definitely not a townhouse again. No. All right. So 3 things my recent move taught me. Number 1, I really don't care to have a lot of stuff. Number 2, be clear about what I need. Number 3, I'm not sure I ever want to have a big home townhouse ever again. If you have moved recently, what is something that your move taught you? Share with me in the comments. And until next time, find a little time to take a break.